B655.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I am informed by the Ministry of Agro-Industry and Food Security that a total of 4,080 cattle and 500 goats and sheep were imported from South Africa and sold for the 2018 Eid-ul-Adha festival. As regards Part B of the question, the Ministry of Agro-Industry and Food Security has issued 6 import permits for 4,080 cattle to be imported from South Africa for the 2019 Eid-ul-Adha festival by Sokovia Limited, 3,800 heads, La Ferme Belagro Limited, 200 heads, and Tarzan Livestock Cooperative Society Limited, 80 heads. Out of the 3,800 cattle for Sokovia Limited, 600 have already landed on 5th July 2019, and a second batch of 1,631 on 15 July 2019. Another 600 is expected to land on 23rd July 2019. Sokovia Limited has confirmed that the company will not import any further cattle for Eid-ul-Adha 2019. Furthermore, Sokovia Limited has informed my ministry that the company will put around 4,200 heads for sale for Eid-ul-Adha 2019. That is 2,831 imported in July 2019 and 1,369 from those already in its farm. Tarzan Livestock Cooperative Society Limited and La Ferme Belagro Limited have confirmed that they would not import any cattle for Eid-ul-Adha 2019. 5 import permits have been approved for the import of a total of 1,640 goats, sheep, in the context of the Eid-ul-Adha 2019. However, 1 import permit issued to La Ferme Belagro Limited for a consignment of 600 goats, sheep from Botswana has already lapsed. Sori Farm Company Limited, Sokovia Limited, and La Ferme Belagro Limited have confirmed that they would not import any goats, sheep from South Africa. I'm also informed that 1,005 cattle and 2,129 goats, sheep from Rodrigues may be available for Eid-ul-Adha 2019. The only importer, that is Sokovia, submitted information pertaining to the costing on Friday, 12 July, and on Monday, 15 July 2019. Thus, the Ministerial Committee set up to fix the price of imported live cattle for Eid-ul-Adha 2019 will meet this week. Thereafter, the committee will submit its recommendations to Cabinet for a decision, following which the public will be informed of the prices fixed for sale of cattle for Eid-ul-Adha 2019.
Yes, Madam Speaker, it's a bit alarming that less than a month before the Eid-ul-Adha festival, the prices have not yet been fixed. May I remind the Honourable Minister that since 2015 there has been a rising trend of the prices of cattle, except last year. But since 2015 it has been 125, 130, 135 rupees per kilo. Therefore, can I ask the Honourable Minister, since we are in a monopolistic situation, which has been the case since very long, can I ask him if he can see to it that there are no abuses this year and that prices are not increased without any significant reason?
Madam Speaker, first of all, I must say that it has been the case in the past where prices have been fixed some 2 weeks or slightly more than 2 weeks before the festival. The reason being that the importer waits that the cattle, the goat and sheep and all, be embarked on the ship before giving the price. And this is the case as well this year. Concerning the price for live cattle, I must say that efforts have always been made by the government to reduce the price in such a way that it is accessible to all those concerned. And I just have a comparative table with me. In 2014, for the Eidul Adha festival, the price was 139 rupees 50 cents. In 2015, when we came, it came to 125 rupees, which we fixed. In 2016, 129 rupees. In 2017, 135 rupees. And last year, it was 134 rupees. As I said, the committee is meeting this week, the ministerial committee, and of course, with all the elements of the cost that have been submitted to the Ministry of Commerce, the analysts will be analyzing all the figures before proposing to Sokovia, the main importer, the price that we wish to have.
Yes, as the Honourable Minister is aware, there are some religious criteria to be respected for the age of the animal. Is there any mechanism, maybe at the Ministry of Agriculture, so that to ensure of the age, of the proper age of the animal?
Yes, Madam Speaker. In fact, this question comes every year, and I must say that the officers from my ministry, the Consumer Affairs Unit, officers from the veterinary services of the Ministry of Agro-Industry, and they are on site to make sure that the age is respected, that is 2 years old. And the way I think they check it is by counting the number of teeth. So I can assure the member that this will continue.
Question, Aadil Ameer Meea.
B656.
Madam Speaker, the present contract for the supply of petroleum products between the State Trading Corporation and Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals Limited will expire on 31st July 2019. I am informed by the State Trading Corporation that on 25th March 2019, the corporation launched a tender for the supply of 915,000 metric tons of clean petroleum products and 325,000 metric tons of dirty petroleum products for the period 1st August 2019 to 31st July 2020. 11 bidders submitted their offers, out of which 9 were for clean petroleum products and 8 were for dirty petroleum products. At its meeting of 22nd May 2019, the Board of State Trading Corporation approved to award contracts for the supply of petroleum products to Mauritius for the period 1st August 2019 to 31st July 2020. My ministry was informed of the board decision of 22nd May 2019 and was requested to seek government's approval accordingly. However, on 31st May 2019, the Supreme Court, in the case of State Trading Corporation versus Betamax Limited, set aside the award of the Singapore International Arbitration Center and provided guidance on the application of the Public Procurement Act. Subsequently, State Trading Corporation sought the advice of the State Law Office on the procurement proceedings that should be followed by the corporation. As per advice obtained, the procurement procedures set out in the Public Procurement Act have to be followed by the State Trading Corporation. On 7 June 2019, State Trading Corporation had a meeting with the Central Procurement Board to discuss the procedures to be followed under the Public Procurement Act, a timeline for carrying out the tender process for supply of petroleum products, as per the provisions of the Public Procurement Act, worked out to last over a period of about 6 months. Taking the above factors into consideration, on 10 June 2019, the Board of the State Trading Corporation approved that the corporation annuls the tender exercise and carries out an emergency procurement for the period 1st August 2019 to 31st January 2020 through negotiations with the lowest substantially responsive bidders in the tender exercise launched on 25th March 2019. The State Trading Corporation is in the process of finalizing matters with the selected bidders for the emergency procurement, which will ensure the continuity of supply of our petroleum products beyond 31st July 2019. In the meantime, a tender exercise, as per the Public Procurement Act, is being carried out by the State Trading Corporation for procurement of petroleum products as from 1st February 2020.
Yes, Madam Speaker. It's not reassuring what the Honourable Minister just informed the House, but now we are using emergency procurement for the 6 months to come, and the more so it is expiring at the end of this month. So therefore, can I ask the Honourable Minister if he can give the list of the bidders for the emergency procurement? So also he mentioned that we will select the lowest bidders.
What I said, Madam Speaker, is that for the emergency procurement, negotiations will be, have been carried out with the lowest substantially responsive bidders in the tender exercise that was launched on 25th March 2019. But, Madam Speaker, I think any reasonable member, knowing what we have been facing during the last years with Betamax, can understand that it is not the right moment to give the name. And I must say that this is a very commercially sensitive issue and even legally sensitive, and we won't take any risk to give any name.
Yes.
Minister, must be serious. We are only asking the list, not the comparative prices of each bidder.
I think my answer was clear. I said that negotiations were carried out with the best potential bidders. There can't be 100 potential bidders that have the best. There were two bidders or one bidder. So I can't say the name.
Yes, Honourable.
In his last PQ, but by myself on the 2nd of April this year, the Honourable Minister stated, Madam Speaker, the recourse to a tender exercise is of course more transparent. So you want us to believe that he wants to be transparent. When being asked with the name of the bidder, he's not able to give the name? Come on.
Mr. Speaker, I would say that I won't give the name, but in due course I will give the names of those who have been.
Yes, B657.
Madam Speaker, Veolia Recycling and Environment Services Mauritius Limited submitted an application for an EIA license on the 27th of May 2019. According to the EIA report submitted by the company, the undertaking will consist of the construction and operation of a waste processing plant at Westair to treat, firstly, hydrocarbon waste sludge from the bottom of storage tanks, secondly, medical waste and dead animals by incineration. Thirdly, contaminated soils. Fourthly, waste plastic. And fifthly, used oil filters. According to the District Council of Pamplemousse, the proposed site is found outside the settlement boundary of the district as per the Pamplemousse's development management map. It adjoins the Richter industrial area and is about 630 meters from the nearest residential development on its western boundary. In line with Section 20 of the Environment Protection Act, the EIA was open for public comments as per established procedure. The public was invited to submit its comments by the 20th of June 2019. My ministry has received various representations from the forces vives of Baie-du-Tombeau, as well as from inhabitants thereat. The Mouvement Anti-Pollution has also submitted comments by way of 2 letters dated 25th of June and 5th of July 2019. The main concerns raised by the Mouvement Anti-Pollution pertain, amongst others, to the following. A, the activities proposed by Veolia Recycling and Environment Services Mauritius Limited constitute a bad neighborhood activity, and the site is classified as an agricultural land. B, shortcomings associated with the proposed project, such as non-disclosure of activities, namely incineration of medical waste, human body parts, dead animals, and waste plastic. C, whether the promoters have applied for a free port certificate and a regulatory sandbox license, and if so, the outcome thereof. And D, whether there will be the setting up of an incinerator or not. The Mouvement Anti-Pollution has already been informed, as per the established procedures, that their concerns will be duly considered during the processing of the EIA application. Madam Speaker, the EIA application by Veolia Recycling and Environment Services Mauritius Limited is being processed based, firstly, on the existing regulations and enactments, secondly, on the comments and views received from concerned institutions, authorities, entities, and individuals, and thirdly, on measures stipulated in the EIA report. A decision to issue a license or not will be taken after considering the merits or demerits of the project, and I can assure the House that I will not tolerate any polluting activity from the proponent.
Yes, we understand from the Minister that he would leave no stone unturned for this project to see to it whether this is right or not to go ahead with the project. But can I ask him if he has had meeting with the Mouvement Anti-Pollution or with the promoters, that is Veolia?
No, in fact, I will not leave any stone unturned for any undertaking which applies for an EIA license. That we have to follow due process, and we will follow due process. As regards any meeting, it would not be due process if I were to meet those comments received for or against the project, or if I were to meet the promoter, because there is an ongoing exercise going on for the grant or the non-granting of an EIA license.